Hi, it's been a minute. And by minute I mean, 2 weeks or so. I've been trying to be consistent uploading, but life happens. As Hannah Montana once said, nobody's perfect, and I stand by that. So today I'm going to be doing my 5-star reads, and I'm really excited about this because I don't have that many 5-star reads. I want to say on my Goodreads I have probably 170 books that I read, and I have 8 5 stars. So if you have any of your 5-star reads, please give me recommendations because I really do want to up that number. I want to really enjoy what I'm reading. Let's just get into it. So I'm just going to go chronologically in the books that I had read and add it to my Goodreads. So the first one's going to be Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. This book was really big on book talk and everything, and I still think it probably is because Colleen Hoover is absolutely killing it right now. But yeah, this was my first one. I read it in March of 2021. So this one's about Tate and Miles, who they meet through Tate's brother, and they're both really attracted to each other, and so they're both like, I don't really want love right now. Like Tate, she's, I want to say like a nurse or something, busy, I don't know. It's been a minute since I read it, but Miles is like, I'm not looking for love, I'm never really gonna fall in love again, blah blah blah. You know the story, the whole rhyme and dance and whatnot. And so they're like, oh, this is perfect, neither of us want love, we're both attracted to each other, let's just be friends with benefits, right? Catching feelings obviously isn't what you expect whenever you go into a friends with benefits relationship, and as one can imagine, that kind of happens. And it's really messy. There's like a quote in this book. Oh my gosh, hold on, because I need to get it right this time. So I'm literally looking up the quote that literally just, oh, this quote, okay.
12 seconds later.
Oh my gosh, I found it. Okay. Oh, I love this quote so much. Okay. Miles was saying this to Tate. He says, quote, "If I were capable of loving someone, it would be you." Come on. Anyways, this book also is really cool because it ties into her one called November 9, and I don't know why I've been holding it like this entire time. That's something that I do like about Colleen Hoover's books, is that some of her books kind of tie in together, so you kind of get to see those characters again. Overall, like this one, it made me feel a bunch of emotions, right? And I was very new to the getting back into the reading game, and I remember when I read this, it just, like I said with that quote, it just made me feel so many of these emotions, and I really liked it. You know what, I should probably reread this now that I'm thinking about it. It was just a great reading experience for me, so I recommend it. Next one that I read on my list, that's 5 stars, and I know I have the book, I used this book in my last video, my favorite book boyfriends video, but I don't know where I put it, so I don't have the physical copy with me, but y'all know what it looks like. The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. I love that book. I adore that book. I adore the couple in that book. You know those books that you kind of wish that you were like a part of, like you were in that universe of the book and you were like friends with the characters and everything? This is one of those books for me. I really wish that me and Stella were cool. Michael could invite me over to his family dinners and I could hang out with them. Like, I just love everything about it. So this one, if you guys haven't watched my book boyfriends video, which if not, you should. So I'm not going to go too much into what this book is about because, as I said, my book boyfriends video kind of explains what it is. But it's basically about Stella and Michael, and Stella hires a male escort who happens to be Michael, and she hires him to help her get like that dating relationships experience situation, you know what I mean? I loved this book mainly because I loved Michael so much, and I really loved Stella and Michael's dynamic. It was a really great reading experience, and it's part of the series too. I believe there's 2 other books in this series, I want to say, but I haven't read them just because I just love Stella and Michael so much. Like I love Stella and Michael. Like, I want to read 2 additional books about Stella and Michael, you know what I mean? But I'm sure those other books are great. Obviously gave it 5 stars. Next one, I also have a physical copy of it, but I don't know where it is. Does that ever happen to you guys? Like, you're looking for a physical copy that you have of a book and you can't find it, and you're like, where could you be? You know what I mean? So I don't know where it is. But anyways, the next one is One to Watch. It's by Kate Stayman London. I really enjoyed this book. I also read this in 2021, and what this is about is V. Schumacher is the main character, and she is this plus size fashion blogger who she gains like traction and a following and everything like that. I want to say it's again, it's been a minute since I've read this. I think that there's some like something about her, like a video or something goes viral, I want to say. Let me check on that. Yeah, the synopsis is not telling me much, but I'm pretty sure, I don't know, she like rants about, cause there's this show called The Main Squeeze, and it's like a dating show, kind of like The Bachelor, and something about her goes viral. I want to say that she's like, why is everybody like, where's there no body inclusivity on the show and stuff like that, and it kind of goes viral, and then the producers call her and is like, we want you to be the next Main Squeeze, and she's like, I'll do it. And she's very like anti finding love on the show, but what do you think happens? This book, this is really good, especially if you like, I was in my Bachelor era back in the day, kind of like the Emily Maynard, Sean Lowe era of The Bachelor. I haven't really watched like the new seasons, like Colton season, stuff like that. I haven't. But whenever I was watching The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, I really loved it. It was fun, but now it's kind of turned into. But anyways, one to watch, Kate Stayman in London, 5 stars, I loved it. Next one that I gave 5 stars is gonna be They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This book, I really adored and cherished this book when I was reading it. It was amazing. It was a great reading experience. And it was a little bit different than anything that I'd ever read before. I feel like you'll notice like a lot of these that I read earlier on when I started getting back into reading was a lot of like romance and blah blah blah. But this one, whilst it is a romance, it also introduced me to slight fantasy mixed in with existentialist questioning. And that's the best way that I could describe it. And I really enjoyed that. I actually just picked up the prequel to this, The First to Die at the End. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know how it is, but when I tell you she thick. But anyways, They Both Die at the End. This is about 2 boys, Rufus and Mateo, and they're part of this world where Death Cast, they give you a call and they're like, hey, just want to let you know, in the next 24 hours, or maybe even less than that, depending on when we're calling you, you're gonna die. And so they both get the call, right? And there's this app where you can meet other, I forget what the term is for the people that have been called by Deathcast, but there's like an app or something where you can like meet other people that are going to be dying, and it's such a fun ride going on in this book. Like, you follow Rufus and Mateo as they go around their city experiencing things before they die. Like, there's something really cool in this book where you can go there and you can kind of like experience like stuff that you like, stuff that's on people's bucket lists, right? Like skydiving, stuff like that. And I thought that was so cool. Would I actually like a real death cast in real life? Probably not. But reading this was an absolute delight, and 5 stars, 100% easily 5 stars. Can't wait to read the prequel. And yeah, I loved it. Also on the cover, so if you see the cover, you can see the shadow following them is like the Grim Reaper. Isn't that cool? And then on the side here, there's like the time and stuff like that, which I think is cool. I love when authors, they put little, not like Easter eggs, but a little something more on their covers, right? Like the cool little details. Like, I really love that. Next one I gave 5 stars. Fat Chance, Charlie Vega. This one is by Crystal Maldonado. Yeah, I said that right. I don't know if this would be something that I picked up to read today, because this is like a young adult situation. I don't really read young adult books like that anymore. I haven't read a young adult book in a minute, and it's about a girl, obviously Charlie Vega, and it's kind of like about her high school experience. She has this friend, I want to say her name's Amelia. Yeah, her name's Amelia. I also have a friend named Amelia. Anyways, so Charlie Vega, she is this cute little high schooler, plus size, you know, she wants to be a lot more confident in herself and everything like that. And so finally she has this cute boy ask her out, and she's like, yes, like I'm gonna have a boyfriend, my high school experience, blah 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 blah. And so she learns out that the boy who asked her out also asked out her best friend Amelia first, and she harbors some sort of resentment about that just because Amelia's like the slim, athletic, popular girl who gets all the attention, and you know the story. But with this one, it was really a delight getting to read about Charlie. I really liked her character and her growth during the book. Like, I feel like she grew as a person a lot, and I really enjoyed reading that. And this reading experience, again, obviously 5 out of 5, I would recommend it, especially if you're in high school, or if you're like plus size or anything like that and you had that plus size high school experience. Like, you'll really relate to this. Trust me. Also, again, the cover, oh my gosh, I don't want the ring light in there. Look at this cover. Tell me this cover is not beautiful, amazing, literally the best thing you've ever seen in your life. Like, you can't, because amazing. The next one I read that I gave 5 stars, I don't have a physical copy of it because I read it on Kindle, but it's going to be The Third Best Thing by Maya Hughes. It's part of the Full New series. I read the first one, I don't think I read the second one, and then The Third Best Thing is obviously this one. And this is like what the cover looks like. Can't really see it. But this one is about 2 friends who are actually friends in real life. And they're secretly pen pals with each other, but they don't know that they're kind of like writing each other, right? And so I really enjoyed this. The main female character, she's also kind of like curvier, plus size, whatever you want to call it. Which, are we sensing a theme in my reading? Anyways, this one was really adorable. I very much enjoyed their friendship. Like, they had that perfect banter, like, they had that perfect banter that everybody is looking for in a book, to be honest. I did post a review on Goodreads about this. Basically what I said is that I didn't like it as much as I thought I did. And I said I'll do over-reliable with the likes and dislikes list. That's hilarious. So what I liked. Okay, the characters' names are Burke and Jules, yes. So obviously both of them I really loved. Laura, I said that she was a real one. The letter girl aspect I really loved because Jules' character, whenever Burke writes or talks about her, he says the letter girl when he was referring to Jules, but he doesn't know that it's Jules. He just thinks it's the letter girl, so that's why he says the letter girl, and I really loved that. Like, little pen pal experience. There's a lot of baking in this book, which I actually don't know if there's a lot of baking, but there was baking in this book, and I really loved that. And I personally really love baking, and I kind of want to do like a baking series situation while I talk about books and stuff like that on this channel, just because baking is something that I really love so much. So I don't know if anybody would be interested in watching that, but it's something that I really want to do, so we'll see. Also, Jules' body acceptance journey, like she really went through it to accept herself and accept her body, like, for what it was and everything like that. I really loved that. I love reading that. I wish that everybody could be accepting of their bodies the way that she came into being accepting of herself. So that was really nice. There's also foster child representation in here, which I love. I love books that have foster child representation because I feel like in the foster system, there's not a lot of representation in a lot of books that personally I've read. I'm sure there's a lot out there, but in regards to fiction, I haven't really read much about that. And I like that they're kind of bringing that to light, because especially when you're younger and not part of the foster system, you don't really know what exactly is going on. But growing up, you kind of realize there's so many kids that are in the foster system and they're not given like as many opportunities as some of us are that never went through that. And I just love that they had that representation in the book. Oh yeah, something that I think the thing I like the most about this book is that both Jules and Burke kind of had their own story in this. Like, it was about them as a couple, but it also was about them as individuals, and that is something that I really loved in this book, because that's real life, you know what I mean? So whenever you're a couple with someone, you both have your individual lives, you know, like, you can't do everything together all the time. I'm sure some couples do, but it's not like you guys can be together 24/7, realistically speaking. I mean, if you guys both have jobs and everything like that. Anyways, I'm not trying to hate anybody's relationship. I'm just saying that I really like that they were Jules, Burke, and Jules and Burke. Loved it. 5 stars. Next one is one of my favorite books of all time. Literally, I love this book. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Even just looking at this book gives me like a serotonin boost, and it's been beat up a little bit up here. We won't mention that just because I've given it a lot of love. You know what I mean? Like, I love this book. If I were to reread a book again, I'd want it to be this one probably. This one is about Poppy and Alex, and even just saying their name, Serotonin and Bruce, they are best friends, or I guess whenever we first meet them, they're kind of ex-best friends, you know? They went on vacation together like once a year for quite a few years, and then one vacation, everything changed. They don't really talk to each other anymore. And Poppy, she has this opportunity and she's like, I want to invite Alex, kind of like one last hurrah, right? And so you see them go on this vacation after that. Like, when you're reading it, you don't know what happened at that previous vacation that they went on together. But throughout the story, you learn about what happened and everything, and then you get to see them come together again as they are on this vacation together. And their friendship, this is friends to lovers, like golden, like, I don't even know, like, this is top tier friends to lovers. This book made me realize how much I love friends to lovers. And I don't even know what else to say about it, just because I love this book so much, and I 100% recommend it to everybody. Like, if you don't like rom-coms, read it, you know? Like, I need everybody to read this book right now. Like, I need everybody to read this book right now. It's amazing. If I could give it 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, 500 stars, like, I would. I really love this book. And my latest and possibly most prized 5-star possession, even though I was just hyping up People With Me on Vacation like 10 times. This one, however, I would probably classify this as my favorite book, and I just love everything about it. You know, the plot, the characters, the writing, everything about it is amazing, 100%. And that's going to be One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm actually thinking about doing something with this book that's a little fun and exciting, but you'll just have to stay tuned to see. But this one is about Emma, and Emma marries her high school sweetheart Jesse, and on their 1-year wedding anniversary, Jesse, he goes missing when he's doing a work project in this helicopter that is over the ocean. And so the helicopter disappears, Jesse is missing, and then eventually, like, you know, when someone's been missing that long, yeah, considered, you know. And so she obviously is devastated, and then we get to go through her kind of like grieving that, grieving her husband, like grieving that loss, moving back to her hometown, getting close with a childhood friend, Sam, and eventually finding love again. But all that kind of changes whenever Jesse's found alive, I want to say like 5 years later. And this book, I loved this book. Like, this reading experience was absolutely insane to me. And there's this song that reminds me of this book. It's called A Little Bit Yours by J.P. Sachs. If you've read this or anything like that, like, listen and tell me it doesn't remind you of this book, right? But the thing is that I really loved about this book, not only the writing, the characters and everything, like the whole experience, it was absolutely great. But something I really like about this book is that it actually makes you think, like, what I do if I was in Emma's position, right? And it kind of gives you that, like, I like when books give you kind of like a moral decision to make, right? And that is something that I really loved about this book. But I would recommend this 100 times over. Like, I think everyone should read this book, and I'll ride or die for this book. I really will. I love this book. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. Amazing. Love it. I really can't say enough good things about it, really. And so those were my 5-star reads. Again, I don't have that many, but if you guys have any of your 5-star reads, please comment down below, because your girl needs some more. But yeah, this was fun to kind of see all the books that I read or rated 5 stars before, and it was a really cool experience actually going through all this. So if you liked this video, or if you like me, please consider subscribing or liking, and I'll see you next time. Bye.